going to throw some colour on this. I'm using a mixture of watercolour and probably some coloured pencils. And what I'm doing now is I'm just painting straight water on an area that I want to be sort of dusty cloud. I'm not really thinking of this here as being fog, although that would be cool. I'm thinking of it as being sort of gravel that's been all stirred up. So I'm going to give it a little bit of yellowy ochre tone, but I don't want to put too much there because the white is actually working very well to emphasize the action. I like to use ice cube makers for palettes sometimes. Okay. So what I'll do here is just sort of let this bleed out a little bit. Between different philosophies of art, I mean, some people would get the best possible paper and they would, best products, which I am sort of using the best products, but not so much the paper. And they'd have something that they could frame as a work of art. What I'm doing is having something that I could just scan and then probably present it on the internet as a work of art. Now if you was doing illustrations, that's all you'd need. You wouldn't need your fine piece of art. Illustration work, the end product is reproduced, so you'd use anything. And that frees you up. You can use biro if you wanted to. Those ballpoint pen, you wouldn't have to use the best possible products. Not too heavy here. We've got this nice light patch here, so I keep that very light. One of the things I do with watercolour is sort of wipe the brush dry and then just remove bits I want lighter. Watercolour is a tricky beast to control. So two different coloured dinosaurs just for the contrast. I like to make them look a bit different. Right, that's all the watercolour I'm going to put on. I'll let that dry, and then the final stage is I'm going to put a little bit of coloured pencil on. Now I'm moving on to coloured pencil. It's really good just to add a few little bits here in coloured pencil. I'm using Derwent Studio pencils, and what I find is that once you've laid down a bit of watercolour, it makes the paper almost like, if you looked under a microscope, I'm sure you'd see mini sandpaper. All the grit from the pigment of the watercolour sticks to the paper, and now that means that when you put your pencil across, it picks up extra colour and you get a much more intense colour with your pencil. When I put the green over the yellow like this, you get this technique, you get a result that you can't get with watercolour, so it just has its own unique look, pencil and watercolour. So watercolour's fun because you can just sort of goes around. You haven't got a lot of control over watercolour, you just have to go with the flow, but with pencil you've got a lot of control, so just these little bits and pieces that you wish you had a bit more control over, if you just shade in very, very light with the pencil, you find now you've got control over that colour. So that's another reason I didn't do the watercolour very strong to start with, so I'll just use this for the strong colours. And it intensifies the colour a lot. Alright. This might be risky, but I'm going to add a little bit of blue to the Allosaurus. It's gentle. Do it very gentle, it'll be like a grey blue. I'm sort of thinking now, pretty much like here in Australia we have the lace monitors. The lace monitors have got this sort of a bit of a bluey grey going through them, a steely blue like this. That's camouflage. I find that I'm always experimenting, even, Even though I've been doing it for quite a few years, I always experiment because I'm always looking for the thrill of finding something new. And of course the other thing about this is you gotta know when to stop. And I think it's time to stop right now. Go on, put the pencil down, that's it, you've done enough. Stop it, come on, stop it, stop it. Walk away from the drawing. Okay, there's our coloured version of Allosaurus versus Stegosaurus. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hope you might learn something from what I'm doing. Maybe even my mistakes. Who knows. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.